everyone. Welcome back to Summer School Shorts. I'm Abby, an account manager for Event 360.
And I'm Jillian, the Vice President of New Partnerships here at Event 360. And today we're here to talk about all things event experience, that lasting impression that your peer-to-peer participants walk away with from your fundraising event.
And in the peer-to-peer fundraising event world, experience is everything. It's what turns a meh event into a can't miss tradition for friends and family.
So how do you do that? Today, we're going to walk you through 4 pillars: event personality, surprise and delight, traditions, and safety. Let's break them down. So let's start with event personality. Your peer-to-peer fundraising event should feel like your organization. Is your mission fun and loud? Is it quiet and heartfelt? Is it supportive and reflective? For example, if your organization focuses on funding children's cancer research, then it wouldn't make sense to not have any kids' activities on site, right? You want fun and games and activities for families to enjoy. On the other hand, if your participants look to your event as a way to honor and remember loved ones that they've lost, you want to make sure that you build a space on site for them to do just that.
And whatever your tone is, make it consistent. From the first email to the end of the event, participants should really feel like they know who you are. Whether your event is a 5K walk, a run, or a cycling event, make sure those special moments make sense for your organization. And here's a good gut check. Would you or your fellow staff members want to attend your event? If the answer is maybe, then it's time to get creative. Next, let's talk about surprise and delight. This is where you create magic by breaking expectations in a good way. Returning participants want an event that feels familiar, that feels like home, but they also want, and may not even realize that they want, something fresh and new that they weren't expecting.
Abby, one of my favorite examples of this was back in 2017 when we were producing the Florida AIDS Walk and Music Festival for the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. That year, the performer for the 5K Music Festival was DNCE, and they had a hit song on the radio, Cake by the Ocean. Now, it set the stage perfectly for a surprise and delight moment. Our event site was right on the ocean, and we knew that that would be the last song that the band played after the 5K was done. So when that song started to play, we had volunteers standing backstage with trays of cupcakes topped with condoms that had AHF branding that they could walk out onto the beach and into the crowd and really create this 360-degree experience that surprised all of our participants and really delighted those folks who'd been coming to the event for over a decade.
And my favorite part about that story and that event is that it doesn't have to be this expensive, elaborate moment to wow your attendees. It just has to be thoughtful. And Cupcakes and Condoms did that in a really manageable and scalable way.
And surprise is what makes people smile, makes them cry. It makes them want to come back to the event year after year and encourage their friends and family to do the same. All of that combined will result in more attendees that raises awareness and raise even more funds for your organization.
Next up is traditions. I think one thing we as event planners get stuck on every year is constantly wanting to change things up to make them different or raise the bar. But while you're making plans to surprise and delight your participants, don't toss the old stuff. Don't make changes just to make changes. Traditions matter. They connect longtime participants and make the event feel familiar and comfortable.
The trick to feeling like you're making changes each year: updating legacy elements without losing the heart. This can look like modernizing your event ceremony or refreshing the event shirt, but don't get rid of what people love about your event. I think a really good example of this is any event where you carve out space on site to do a remembrance or tribute area. This becomes about the activity of honoring someone's loved one that maybe they've lost. So maybe in year 1, 2, or 3, you have an area where folks can plant a flag or some sort of memorial for their loved ones. But after a few years, you want to keep that activity on site, but maybe update the activation. So maybe you change it to some sort of photo opportunity or a more immersive remembrance tent. Whatever you do, you want to keep the legacy and the space and activation intact while updating it so that folks expect something a little new and refreshed every year.
Last up is safety. This can be both physical and emotional safety. From medical tents to inclusive signage and accessibility, participants really need to feel taken care of.
And in today's world, expectations around safety are very high. We've seen headlines about events with extreme weather and emergencies that happen out of the blue. Preparedness and thoughtfulness go a long way when you're doing outdoor events. And if your organization doesn't already have an emergency response plan in place, creating one is absolutely the first step. Making sure that all of your event staff know their roles when something comes up will give everyone peace of mind. So, to recap, your event experience should reflect your personality, include some surprise and delight, honor your tradition, and center safety. As you go through your event planning season, ask yourself, what's one small change that you can make that will elevate your event?
Because in the end, a great event experience isn't about spending more money to build a very lavish event. It's about creating an event that encompasses your mission and the spirit of your participants. Now, with these 4 pillars in mind, get out there and make it unforgettable. Or drop us a line and we'll help you take your event from good to great.